Science and Technology, Science 1, Chapter 1, Laws of Motion. Here are the four main points we will discuss in this chapter: motion, acceleration, distance and displacement, Newton's laws of motion, and related motion. What is the motion of an object? Here are four examples are given: the flight of a bird, a stationary train, leaves flying through air, a stone lying on a hill. Here are four examples. The question is, how will you explain presence and absence of motion? The flight of bird, here is the motion. A stationary train, here is a absence of motion. Leaves flying through air, presence of motion. A stone lying on a hill, absence of motion. We see the motion of several objects every day, but sometimes we cannot see the motion of an object directly, as in the case of breeze. Can you list the other examples of a motion besides those given here? You are traveling in a bus. Is the person sitting next to you in a motion? What do you take into the consideration to decide if an object is moving or not? So, motion is a relative concept. Very IMP. Motion is a relative concept. Motion is a relative concept. If the position of an object changing with respect to its surrounding, then it is said to be in a motion. म्हणजे गतीची संकल्पना, मोशन म्हणजे गती, गतीची संकल्पना ही निरीक्षक सापेक्ष आहे. इफ द पोझिशन ऑफ अन ऑब्जेक्ट इज चेंजिंग विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू इट्स सराउंडिंग. समजा तुमच्या सभोवताली ची जी परिस्थिती आहे, या परिस्थितीनुसार हा पदार्थ किंवा ती वस्तू गतिमान असेल तर तिला आपण ती गतिमान आहे असं म्हणू शकतो. आणि जर ती वस्तू किंवा तो पदार्थ विराम अवस्थेमध्ये असेल, then we can say it is into the rest position. Now the new concept is a displacement and distance. What is the displacement and distance? You can observe here one of the single picture, location of the school and houses. Sheetal and Prashant's house. Here is the Sangeeta's house. Here is the school. Then the distance between small b to Sangeeta's house is 500 meter. Distance between path B and school is 1200 meter. Total calculated distance is 1700. If the two person Sheetal and Prashant went to Sangeeta's house, they calculated 500 meter distance. From path B they went to school, also they calculated 1200 meter distance. But the distance between Sheetal and but the total displacement is 1300 meter. Here is the activity given. Measure the distance between the 2 points in a different ways. distance is correct. Measure the distance along the dotted line from A to B. You can calculate this distance from A to B. See here, Sheetal first went to her friend Sangita's house on her way to school. Prashant went straight from home to school. Both are walking with the same speed. Who will be take less time to reach the school and why? Prashant will take less time to reach the school because the actual distance is 500 meter plus 1200 meter, but the total displacement is here 1300 meter. There a difference between the actual distance and the distance travel. What is it? Distance is the length of the actual path traveled by an object in a motion while going from one point to another. But the displacement is the minimum distance between the starting and finishing point. So here is the displacement. Here is the starting point is here. Here is the total distance. Distance and displacement, these two concepts are clear here with the help of diagram. Here you can also solve a question difference between distance and displacement. You can write the definition for distance and displacement. Distance is, now very simple examples are given here. Swarali walks around the edge of the circular field having a radius of 100 meter. If she starts from the point A, takes around, how much distance has she walked and what is her displacement? Total distance is 100 meter, but the displacement is 0 here. Why? Because Swarali when starts from the point A and also when she complete her one round and reaches to at the starting point A, so the displacement is 0. Here a car is starting point P goes to the point Q. If the distance is from P to Q 180 meter and from Q to P again 180, so the total distance calculation is here 360 meters, but the displacement is 0. Even if the displacement of an object is 0, the actual distance traveled by a may be not 0. आता या ठिकाणी स्वरालीने ए या ठिकाणावरून सुरुवात केली, एक गोल राऊंड मारला आणि ती पुन्हा मूळच्या ठिकाणी आली. तिनं 100 मीटर ह्या फील्डला एक सर्क्युलर फेरी केलेली आहे, पण डिस्प्लेसमेंट 0 आहे, 0 आहे. इथं पण पी पासून क्यू पर्यंत 180 मीटर डिस्टन्स आणि क्यू पासून पी पर्यंत परत 180 मीटर काय केलं डिस्टन्स पार केलं. टोटल 360 मीटर झालं. इफ द डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट इज 0 बट द ॲक्च्युअल डिस्टन्स may be not 0. A very simple examples are given here. Speed and velocity. What are the vectors and scalars? Vectors, when we explain some physical quantity like speed, velocity, displacement, distance, if there is a need of direction, then it is our scalar. When there is a need of direction, then it is our vector quantity. If there is no need of a direction, then we can call it a scalar quantity. A very simple a definition for speed and formula. Speed is total distance travel upon time required. The distance traveled in one direction of an object in unit time is called its velocity. One time can be 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, etc. The displacement that occurs in unit time is called a velocity. So, velocity is equal to displacement upon time. डिस्प्लेसमेंटचा अर्थ आहे प्रत्यक्ष झालेले विस्थापन आणि डिस्टन्सचा अर्थ आहे किती अंतर पार केलं. समजा वर्गामध्ये टेबलाजवळ शिक्षक उभे आहेत आणि ते पहिल्या बेंचपासून शेवटच्या बेंचपर्यंत चालत गेले. डिस्प्लेसमेंट झालं. किती वेळ लागला त्यांना? 1.5 मिनिट लागला. तर डिस्प्लेसमेंट अपॉन टाईम करून आपण त्यांचा काय काढू शकतो? व्हेलॉसिटी काढू शकतो. व्हेरी IMP पार्ट ऑफ दिस लेसन. द युनिट्स ऑफ स्पीड अँड व्हेलॉसिटी आर सेम. इन SI सिस्टीम युनिट इज मीटर पर सेकंड. इन CJ सिस्टीम इट इज अ सेंटीमीटर पर सेकंड. Speed is related to distance while the velocity is related to the displacement. You can also write the second point for the distinguish between distance and displacement. Speed is related to the distance and velocity is related to the displacement. If the motion is along a straight line, the values of speed and velocity are the same. Velocity is the displacement that occurs in unit time. या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला स्पीडची व्याख्या लिहायची आहे, व्हेलॉसिटीची डेफिनेशन लिहायची आहे, स्पीडची युनिट लिहायचं आहे, व्हेलॉसिटीचं युनिट लिहायचं आहे. स्पीड आणि डिस्टन्समधला फरक स्पष्ट करा, स्पीड आणि व्हेलॉसिटीमधला फरक स्पष्ट करा. हे प्रश्न सोडवायचे आहेत. Now, what is the average speed or average velocity? Simple example given here. Sheetal and Sangeeta. Sheetal's speed along the path A, distance upon time. Distance is 500 meter and time is 5 minutes. So the Sheetal speed is 100 meter per minute. Sheetal speed along the path B, distance upon time, 1200 meter upon 24 minutes. Speed is 50 minutes per minute. You can calculate also average speed, total distance upon total time. Total distance is 1700 meter and the time is 29 minutes. So Sheetal's average speed. You can also calculate the Sheetal's velocity, displacement upon time. Now, what are the effect of speed and direction on velocity? Here is the question for 3. This question is for 3 marks. See here. If the velocity of the motorcycle, if its speed increases or decreases, but direction remains unchanged. In case of turning on the road, will the velocity and speed be the same? If Sachin changes the direction of the motorcycle keeping its speed constant, what will be the effect on the velocity? And the third one is, if on turning Sachin changes the direction as well as the speed of the motorcycle, what will be the effect of its velocity? So, velocity depends on speed as well as direction, and the velocity changes by. Here are the 3 points, important points. First one is changing the speed while keeping the direction same. जर तुमची दिशा समान असेल तर changing the direction while keeping the speed same, and changing the speed as well as the direction. चाल आणि दिशा दोन्ही बदलू शकता. दिशा बदलल्यानंतर तुम्ही चाल कायम ठेवू शकता. या पद्धतीचे हे 3 पॉईंट दिलेले आहेत. व्हॉट आर द इफेक्ट ऑन व्हेलॉसिटी, यासाठी 3 मुद्दे करायचे. नाउ द इम्पॉर्टंट पार्ट for this page is the first scientist who measured the speed. He was Galileo. He calculated the speed of sound in the air is a 343.2 meter per second, and the speed of light is about 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The speed of revolution of Earth around the Sun is 29,770 meter per second. हे तिन्ही प्रश्न सगळे रिकाम जागा ऑब्जेक्टिव्हसाठी करायचे. वन ऑफ द concept of the uniform and non-uniform linear motion. See here, Amar Akbar Anthony traveling by different cars with different velocities. Here is the time is given.